Good afternoon and welcome to the June 24th meeting of the Public Safety Legal Administration Committee. I am Councilmember Andrea Boone, chair of this committee, and to my right is the Honorable Mary Norwood and the Honorable Amir Faroki. To my left is the Honorable Vice Chair Dustin Hillis and the Honorable Matt Westmoreland. Can we have a motion to adopt the agenda? Moved by the Honorable Matt Westmoreland, seconded by the Honorable Dustin Hillis. Will you please open the vote?
The vote is open. Will everyone please vote?
That's okay. Take your time.
Close the vote. The vote is closed. 5 yeas, 0 nays. The agenda has been adopted.
Can we have a motion to approve the minutes? Moved by the Honorable Vice Chair Dustin Hillis, seconded by the Honorable Matt Westmoreland. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 5 yeas, 0 nays. The minutes have been approved.
At this time, we do have 3 public speakers. Ms. Henri Jordan, please come forward.
Giving honor to the Spirit of God, everyone that's here. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away. Matthew 24th chapter, 35th verse. The Father only knows the time of Christ's return, since it has been set by his authority. You will never know more than Jesus because you are human and he's almighty. James Griffin and others. God's protection plan is better than yours, because you ask for death when you seek to place your behinds in my face. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth, Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, creation marks the absolute beginning of the temporal and material world. Your power and my power is limited, and God's power has no limitation. Jesus killed the playing spirit in me. And the Lord said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people which are in Egypt, and have heard their cry by reason of their taskmasters. For I know their sorrows. Exodus 3, chapter 7, verse. The I am and I will be is God's promise that he will redeem the children of Israel. Do not block God's redemption for you and me, for you will regret your actions. Why do you work against Jesus' protection plan he gave me for us? See now that even I am he, and there is no God with me. I kill, I make alive, I wound, I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. Deuteronomy 32nd chapter, 39th verse. We cannot boast of this kind of power, so we need to have the power to obey God. Jesus told me about work. Your job is a problem that is coming to pass, that you will need my assistance, and I will be overworked, too tired to help you. Christ's word created income, not me. I'm just a chosen vessel. I will listen to YouTube, and someone prophesied that Russia will attack America. Jesus told me to help you prepare for your protection, but you have rejected Christ's help through me. Because Christ created the income through me, I know that the prophecy is correct, and that what God is doing to put the fear of God in us, because he has power over us. He has all power. We have limited power. So God let us know that we need him. He don't need us. And I put it in your mind to let you know and myself to know that we need Christ. We need to obey him. We need to seek to crucify this flesh and glorify Jesus. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker, Reverend Washington.
Madam Chair, ladies and gentlemen of the City Council, I'm civil rights activist Reverend Ray Washington. I'm the one that the Atlanta Citizen Review Board, after I made my complaint, asserted that David Holloman, which was a City of Atlanta police officer, actions were guilty because he said in his statements he didn't remember whether or not he had his gun out when he pointed his gun at my chest. Well, the board of the Atlanta Citizen Review Board found that Holloman's statements were in fact inconsistent. Not to mention, I never heard an apology by the City of Atlanta City Council or the mayor's office. Well, City Council members, I came to tell you that all of that action was retaliation by APD. I have great news today. God vindicated me. Despite the lies and the retaliation by APD, the FDLE out of the state of Florida and the funeral division of the state of Florida did in fact approve my criminal background check. They did approve my funeral home to be the first black funeral home in the state of Florida. Despite all the lies that I have ascertained by the City of Atlanta and their police department, my funeral home, Washington Memorial More Funeral Service, LLC, will be the first black funeral home in Union County, Florida. I submit to you these actions by members of the City of Atlanta Police Department were absolutely disrespectful. I am a man of God. I fought for the likelihood of Rayshard Brooks, Ahmaud Arbery, George Floyd, and many of the like, fighting for the people of the City of Atlanta. I think it is a shame that not one member of City Council reached out to me knowing for the fact that these were all falsehoods. They knew that it was not true what these police officers were doing to me, trying to ruin my relationship with members of the community. My brothers and sisters, I think it is a travesty that when African Americans fight hard, that they end up being disrespected by their own police department. It is a shame, however, but God did vindicate this African American. Thank you.
Next speaker, Mr. J. Wesley Day.
Good afternoon. My name is Jay Wesley Day. I hail from the great city of Chicago, Illinois, West Side, where I was raised in drug, gang-ridden areas. I had to work steadfast and manifested to get 2 bachelor degrees, 2 master degrees. But I come to the city of Atlanta that's supposed to be too busy to hate, and I get hated on. On November 20th, 2018, on Edgewood Avenue at the Joystick Game Bar, I was beaten and attacked based on their perception of my sexual orientation. I pulled out my camera and caught my assailants calling me fags, sissies, homos, throwing punches at me. Amir Faroqi, I'm sure, have seen the video, but I got charged by APD with affray. And then this man, Keith Gamage, upgraded the charge to a felony. How do I get charged when I'm shown as the non-aggressor on the curb, Amir Faroqi, in your district, showing how the security guard at Joystick Game Bar was treating me? I even text and called Johnny Martinez and said, your security is giving me a hard time. I created the Atlanta Nightlife Alliance, in which your mayor stole from me. So why would I be at Joystick to cause any harm? I called the owner and say, come out. I can't believe what's happening to me. But I ended up with a felony. I lost my job at Delta Airlines. My son had to leave the University of Wisconsin. I hire this attorney, pay him $4,000 to represent me before the charge came from Keith Gamage. And while he was my attorney, Keith Gamage upgraded to a felony. So what did he do? And mind you, I said I come from drug-ridden gang neighborhoods because I had no criminal record. And I have footage as me as the non-aggressors. Amir Faroqi may give a bow to say he saw the video of them calling me fag, sissy, and punching me. But I ended up with a felony, still with an attorney. I was a member of Reverend Warnock's church for over 10 years. I went and met with my pastor and say, Pastor, I can't believe what is happening to me. I have lost my job. I'm homeless. I don't have food. He told me, you're lying. How he would know I'm lying? He never asked me my part of the story. He said, you're just trying to be a Jussie Smollett. And thanks for letting me go just a little bit over, please. And he said, you're just trying to be a Jussie Smollett. I said, what can you help me with food? He said, come on Saturday. It was a Tuesday. I came on Saturday. You wouldn't believe what happened next. He had them put me out of the food line. Really. And lastly, there's one assailant that beat me. Oh, here's the other part with Keith Gamage. He dismissed one of the assailants, the security guard who punched me, and on camera, Keith Gamage dismissed his case, but sent mine to Fonnie Willis. Fonnie Willis do have one of my assailants left to prosecute. This happened in 2018, it's 2024. It is approaching 6 years. He have not been prosecuted, and Fonnie Willis is telling me she is going to charge me with extortion unless I drop the charges against this last offender. Because that offender says I sent messages to him on Facebook telling him to give me $25,000, which I vehemently deny. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Doesn't make sense. Can anybody tell me how this makes sense? Black lives, black men lives ruined, my son life ruined.
At this time, we'll have a report by the Atlanta Police Department. Chief Spann, please come forward. Thank you.
You want a pamphlet of my story? Read later. And remember, this is how your leaders treat you kids when you grow up. They won't even have your back. They provide no support.
Good afternoon, Madam Council President, as well as council members. I am Deputy Chief Spann of the Atlanta Police Department and want to give a brief update on our crime. If you looked at our crimes against person, our homicides, rapes, and ag assaults, we are down significantly. We are still trending a little bit in our rapes. And then in our property crime, we're down in all areas with the exception of shoplifting. And with our shoplifting, this is specifically due to our larcenies in our different stores. And we know we have some minor work to do there. But overall, our crime is right now even across the board at 0%. As we look at these zones individually, zones 2, 3, and 6 are all trending down. Zone 5, Zone 4, and Zone 1 have a little bit of an uptick, but overall, again, we're even for crime year to date. As we look at crime and also plan for this week. We know we have a busy week ahead of us with our presidential debate that is coming. We will be working in tandem with our federal, state, and local partners to make sure we deploy all efforts to keep the city safe.
Thank you. Do we have any questions or concerns for the prospective council districts? Chief, I would like to thank you all for what you all have been doing in the Adamsville community. There were two very successful events that happened over the past 3 weeks, and the members of the MPUH are very, very satisfied with the robust and aggressive plan that you all have for that area. Also, will you please take note that the shopping center at Peyton Road and ML King, there is a new barbershop there, and the owner is complaining about a lot of different activities there. If you would please give him a call. The name of his barbershop is Flatland, a brand new barbershop at the corner of Peyton Road and ML King Jr. Drive. He wants his business to flourish. Do we have any questions or concerns? If not, thank you, Chief. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next, we'll have our quarterly report. Ms. Hooker, thank you.
Good afternoon, Committee Chairwoman Boone and City Councilman. I'm here on behalf of the 78 men and women who constitute the city's law department to present our quarterly presentation on activities that took place even before I got here, ending in March of 2024. We have provided some metrics with regards to, I hope this works. It should work now? Okay. We're updating you since the last presentation, which was March 11, 2024, and well, now it really works. The actual division metrics as of the third quarter of fiscal year 2024, what I'm going to present. We have, as you may be aware, 4 different deputies who govern various different divisions, and so that's why the information is segregated the way you see it. The first division is the litigation division. They represented that there were 793 cases that were handled since January, from January through March of this year. 70% of the cases were handled in-house, and the remaining 30% of the matters were referred to outside counsel. No matter how big this department gets, we will still need to refer cases to outside counsel for specialized expertise in areas like environmental law specifically, and then every now and then we have constitutional law cases and class action lawsuits, which are too complex for us to do inside. However, I do want to plant this seed, and I'll keep planting the seed, that we need to strengthen the department to make certain that we do handle as many cases as we can inside. In addition to the cases that are handled in litigation, we handled quiet title actions, which are basically collections actions. The city has liens on various properties for unpaid taxes or unpaid water bills, and there were 57 quiet title actions that we received on the first of the year, and then we filed 107 claims for payment. We've collected $104,004 as of this point in time on those matters. The next one is dealing with litigation settlements for the third quarter of fiscal year 2024. If you notice on the first column, the litigation payments that actually arose from suits The demand was $11 million, and we ended up settling the cases or making payments thereon of $1,820,000. We've also separately identified which departments were involved in the litigation matters and which funds the monies came from in order to make the payments. And then at the bottom, you will see the tally for all of the first 3 quarters of fiscal year 2024. The next one is claims made. These are claims that come in through our normal process. They may not have had an actual lawsuit filed, but they're reviewed at various stages. And between first through third quarter and third quarter of fiscal year 2024, on page 7, you'll see the demands that were made and then the payments. And the one payment that really was the largest payment, you may remember you settled or approved the settlement of the Dorrego lawsuit, which involved a police officer and a situation that arose in 2022, but it went through mediation and it settled for really the $3.8 million is the number that was associated with that case alone. In the next group of division, we have our business services contracts group. They handled 399 cases during the third quarter of fiscal year 2024. The report shows the number of contracts by departments, and you all should be very familiar with this because all the contracts come through you all for approval. So it was 253 from the Department of Procurement alone. So the next one is the Business Services Real Estate Group, and it shows you that they handled a total of 531 matters. It shows you the various departments that were serviced and the number of matters for each of those departments. The next one is the Municipal Governance Group, and that group handled 436 different matters, and it tells you the various types of services they provided, including how many meetings that they attended, as well as various types of bills reviewed, advice and counsel, and then they give you the client matters by department. That municipal governance unit does handle the police, and it also handles the courts, and the police are the #1 user of our advisory services. The next group is the Labor and Employment Group, and that's small but mighty. This is one of the areas that we have to increase. We have 1 attorney, and she is supported by 1 deputy, and she has handled 127 matters from various departments in the first quarter of this year. And she's done a phenomenal job, but it tells you the advice that was given. The next one is the Watershed Group, and the Watershed Group provides a lot of different advice to the department on everything, every aspect of operations and employment issues, anything that arises out of there, and they've provided a very colorful chart to show the number of matters by categories that they have been involved with since the beginning of the year. Next group is our Transportation, Public Works, and Safe unit. They handled 114 different matters, and they're broken out by the various divisions and departments. Then we have Aviation, which you know is our largest economic generator for the city, and we end up having 1,174 matters handled by that team of attorneys. And the attorneys who are assigned to that department are paid for from the aviation funds. And this is the report that you've asked to be provided of the expenditure of outside counsel by funds from last year through May and this year to show you a comparison. There's been a slight increase in all of the areas, primarily due to specific types of litigation impacting those particular areas. And in that footnote, we have explained why the 11% overall occurred. And I'm trying to be very brief, but if you have any questions about anything, I can try to get the answers to you today or get back to you with any other detailed answers to questions you may have.
Do we have any questions or concerns? Thank you, Ms. Hooker. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
I would like to, at this time, recognize our interns. I see some wonderful young people. Will you please stand? Please stand. Let's give them a hand. So, what department are you with? What department are you with? Corrections? So that is a wonderful, wonderful profession, and I really hope that you all pay attention and learn all that you can do. And welcome to the city of Atlanta. Thank you. Thank you. Next, Chief Elder Dancy.
Good morning, Madam Chair and other distinguished council members. Thank you for this opportunity to present our Public Safety Legal Administration third quarter report for fiscal year 2024. I am Interim Chief Elder Dancy, reporting for the Department of Corrections. Next slide, please. Or am I responsible for that? Okay, thank you. Okay, we always like to start with our vision and mission statement in a way to highlight our responsibility to our stakeholders. Our vision statement is to protect the public while striving for excellence through exemplary customer service and promoting community involvement. And our mission statement is to provide a safe and secure correctional environment, enhance public safety through partnerships with the community and law enforcement. And our next slide here are a few examples of our third quarter partnership. We continue to partner with our Emory Mental Health Psychiatric Fellows. They stop by every Tuesday and Thursday to assist with our detainees who have mental health challenges. And for some, it's the beginning of that continuum care that we always talk about. And as you can see, during this past quarter, they saw 108 detainees at ACDC. And then, of course, emergency management. We continue to partner with the Mayor's Office of Preparedness to provide services to some of our most vulnerable citizens, and that includes meals, linen, hygiene items, at the Warming Center, as well as the Bridge Detail Initiative. And of course, the inmate detail. We continue to partner with the Georgia State DOC as we work with our code enforcement team as well as DPW. And this just is a continuation of some of those partnerships. Viral Solution, of course, we are in a different space with COVID, but because we work in such close confined spaces at ACDC, we continue to take advantage of this partnership where they come out to screen and vaccinate our detainees and employees as well if needed. And then, of course, APD, we have a continuous ongoing partnership with APD. We assist with civil unrest and other details involving transportation and so forth. We will be working closely with them Thursday as they prepare for the upcoming debate. Of course, training and career development is always ongoing at ACDC as we continue to develop new skills and knowledge. And these are 9 different training opportunities we took advantage of this past quarter, including health and wellness awareness, IACP conference in Columbus, and many others. 2024 leadership training in partnership with APD. They allowed our command staff, some of the members, to attend that training, and we are very appreciative. Noble Conference was hosted here in Atlanta this year, and we had an opportunity to participate in that as well. And as you can see, stress management, this photo top left, was an opportunity for us to train with Atlanta Fire Rescue, APD, as well as EAP and the Public Safety Behavior Health and Wellness Unit. The next slide is our online bonding process where customers can make remote payments to post bond instead of cash. And as you can see, the third quarter numbers, the in-court numbers is going to represent our online payments, a little over $475,000 with 252 payments. The cash bond, as you can see, a little over 178,000, 105 payments, so a total of $653,550.42, a total of 357 payments. So last year, this time, we were in the process of implementing the cash online bond initiative. It started in June of last year, and as you can see, we continue to move our numbers in the direction that we like to see them. It's definitely a better opportunity for us rather than accepting over $600,000, securing that in our vault, and then physically transferring that to City Hall to revenue. As you can see now, over $475,000 of those dollars are transferred electronically from ACDC through an in-court and then our revenue department. So we are very excited about this, and it's a way to increase our customer service and efficiency. It appears to be a better and seamless process for our customers. And as you can see, the e-bonding process is coming soon. This will be a way to incorporate locally approved bonding agency to post bond via online. As you can imagine, most of our customers utilize the bonding company because of the percentage they could take advantage of. So we're looking forward to moving that hopefully next month. And the next slide is going to involve our employment and attrition numbers. As you can see, our sworn numbers have increased significantly. The dark blue bar graph represents sworn. As you can see on the left, we onboarded 24 for this last quarter, and we only lost 1. That's huge, and it's clear that the mayor has invested in his city employees, and that the commitment the mayor and the city council has allowed us to improve those numbers. We definitely have work to do in our civilian space, but we are very optimistic, especially with the pay and class study rolling out. But as you can see, last year, just to give you a comparison, we onboarded, same quarter last year, we onboarded 9 and lost 6 sworn. So we have had a net 3 there. This year, we have a net 23, and most of those employees are in training now, and we look forward to moving them to our operations division. And of course, our recruiting efforts are ongoing as we partner with Human Resource. And this was a job fair March 5th of this past quarter, where we partnered with DHR with summer interns and an expo job fair. And as Madam Chair mentioned and recognized, our interns, we are so excited to have them on board. Of course, they will not be working in the restrictive space, but obviously we will be taking them through tours of that space. But also we want them to see the entire criminal justice process. So we will be taking them over to visit with APD from time to time, Atlanta Fire Rescue, and Municipal Court. And of course, we want them to see how this legislative body governed. So we have them all here today to observe. And they are all college students with various majors. And these are the booking and average daily numbers that we provide to you quarterly. I'm going to go through them quickly. As you can see, the numbers are pretty consistent. The dark blue graph represents ACDC numbers, and the light bar graphs represents Fulton County. And the average daily population there has increased a little bit this quarter. We have gone from, can't see, 43 last quarter to 63 this quarter, and it looks like our numbers are close to 70 for the previous month. So those numbers are continuing to creep up a little bit, and as you can see, the total booking numbers and total average daily population on the right, those numbers represent ACDC and Fulton County detainees. So these are our in-court custody count, our numbers where we are continuing to operate virtual court in partnership with Municipal Court. As you can see, the kiosk machine there, that's basically our makeshift courtroom and our transfer release area. The numbers starting in FY22, 1167, FY23, 1336, And as you can see, the spike there, which is, we believe is part of because of the changes with the state Senate bill with self-bond, which have gone up to $21.50. And then the in-custody count at the bottom left are going to be $697 in January, $615 in March, and $838 in March of 2024. And then the iPad tablet you see there to the right is an opportunity for us to utilize by taking those tablets to our housing units to assist with those with mental health and medical challenges. So that has been very helpful as well. And this is just a quick snapshot of our top 10 charges. Nothing has really changed over the last few quarters. The first, I believe, 9 are going to be traffic related. And those numbers can be skewed because you could be arrested, charged with multiple charges for one detainee. For example, the first 3 could be a DUI arrest, but because of a no valid tag or decal, which usually is a copy of charges offense, that's going to be included in this count as well. And then the next slide is going to be some of our strategic initiative. Of course, safety is always paramount at ACDC, so we are implementing our iLobby management system to track everyone coming and going into our facility electronically, our e-bonding, we just talked about it, upgrading our jail management in partnership with AIM, scanners, body scanners, as well as we've completed CCTV phases, and we're looking at moving with the body-worn camera. And then other initiatives that we have touched on as well, and of course, ongoing maintenance at ACDC. And of course, our diversion project is ongoing. As you know, all operational components will be separate, but we look forward to supporting our new partners. This is the latest update, and they are still looking at possibly a soft opening later this year, sometime maybe in September. And as you can see, the pictures there, the before and after, this was involving the kitchen and constructions where they had to bore hose to connect with our plumbing. And of course, we were able to benefit from that because our entire roof ceiling, as you can see in the after picture, was replaced, and that ceiling was dated and in much need of repair. So we are appreciative of that. And this is another project DEEM is assisting us with, waterproofing, which has significantly decreased our leaks in our facility, which ultimately is a cost saving. And of course, painting and pressure washing, the facility is ongoing and should be completed next month. And of course, we continue our partnership with Fulton County. There are no major issues or concerns to report at this time. As you know, they are exclusively responsible for security, medical, and food service and programs for their team. And of course, we provide maintenance and housing space. And these are the latest numbers as of June 21st. Female count is 217, and the male count is 137. I'm sorry, 132. And the bar graphs just represent the numbers that we booked into ACDC starting in December of 22 when the IGA was signed, moving to the right, where those dark numbers represent male detainees. Then, of course, we continue to go beyond the walls of ACDC to assist in our community. This was a HelloFresh food drive with Councilmember Bond and on Metropolitan Parkway. The next one is an event at Jackson Memorial Church where we partner with our chair, Councilmember Andrea Boone and her team in District 10 on Fairburn Road. And the next one is the State of the City addressed by the mayor. He recognized 2 of our employees, Senior Officer Levitt Riley for 25 years of service, as well as Lieutenant Andre Owens, who are both pictured there to the right. So we are very proud of their longevity at ACDC. And of course, we continue to go beyond the walls to connect with the community as well as our youth. This is an event at the City View Scholars Academy where we read to our youth, and that's pictured in the right. There's one of our food service representatives, Mr. Howard, and to the left is PTO representative, Ms. Scruggs. And then the next one was an opportunity we worked closely with the Mayor's Offices of International Immigrant Affairs internship, where one of their students from Cristo Rey, Jesuit, I'm sorry, I know I'm mispronouncing that, high school, came out to work with our team and do a Q&A with our command staff as he explored the criminal justice process. And then this is our Women History Month opportunity to show our appreciation for our employees at ACDC and to recognize Director Kawana Williams, who was the City of Atlanta Woman of Impact nominee for 2024. And finally, we're going to recognize 2 of our employees who had outside achievements. Major Travis, who received her bachelor's degree from Atlanta Metropolitan, summa cum laude graduate, there at the commencement service. Thank you. with the Honorable Mayor Dickens as the guest speaker. And then to the right, who's in the audience today, Major Wiggins, if she would raise her hand. She was inducted into the Georgia State Athletic Hall of Fame class of 2023 and 24 at Georgia State University, where she was a standout basketball player there. And that's it. Thanks for your for this opportunity and for your indulgence. And now, of course, we're here for any questions or comments that you may have.
We have been joined by the Honorable Antonio Lewis, District 12. Thank you. Chief, thank you so much for what you all do beyond those walls with our midnight basketball, our senior fair, our senior ball. Also, you all have really helped with our unsheltered population, and I'd like to thank your staff. If you all would please stand, and if you could just tell us what they do and who they are, please.
Absolutely.
Stand. This is a wonderful,
Thank you,
wonderful
Madam Chair,
staff
for this opportunity.
who goes well beyond the call of duty in the city of Atlanta. For that, we appreciate you.
So we have with us Deputy Chief Natasha Johnson. She's in charge of our operations division, as well as Grady. If you can raise your hand. And then Chief of Staff, Captain Jones. She assists with our administrative process, as well as our Office of Professional Accountability. And then Major Wiggins, who we recognize as our administrative commander. And then Deputy Chief Quiller behind her. He's in charge of the Administrative Service Division. And also we have Ms. Cade, who's assisting with our interns, and Ms. Long, who's also assisting with our intern and does an outstanding job at ACDC. So thank you for that opportunity to recognize our employees.
You all really go well beyond the call of duty, and for that, we appreciate you. And we definitely like to get our interns out. We have several senior Camp Best Friends with our seniors, age 65 and older. We like for them to go out and interact in the community with them and just have a wonderful, fulfilled summer in the city of Atlanta. Again, thank you so much. Do we have any questions or concerns from the body? The Honorable Antonio Lewis.
I wanted to bring your attention back to page 9 and 10, and wanted to ask 2 things first. You mentioned that the state law, the change in the state law that happened around ways in which we let people go, has increased it by 1,000?
Well, I don't know. I can't say specifically. We believe some of those numbers are going to be impacted by the changes with the bond process, where now a lot of those detainees, especially repeat offenders, have to go before a judge before they can be released. In the past, we were allowing signature bonds at ACDC. So those numbers we know have gone up, but I can't definitively say how many of those of the 1,000 would be related to it. But that's at least what it looks like at a glance.
And I only ask that because to see fiscal year 22 at 1,067 and fiscal year 23, it was even less. To see fiscal year 24 at 2,000 to go from us maintaining a 1,100 and going down average. And on the page before, page 9, in fiscal year 24, it increased by your APD averages, daily averages was increased by 20.
Right, the daily population.
And I want to know, I apologize, I'll add two things to that. So this was pulled in March. The law went into effect in February.
I believe that law went into effect in July of last year, if I'm not mistaken.
So it went into effect in July of last year, but was it enacted in January of this year, not February? Was it like?
I have to look that up. I'm not exactly sure.
'Cause that's a huge increase from the 2 years, and that's a huge increase from 2 years before. So, thank you.
Sure, no problem.
Any other questions or concerns? Again, thank you all. Thank you, team, and those that we do not see here today. Please let them know how very proud we are of the first-rated facility, clean and safe, that you all are running. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Johnson, I'll make a motion to approve the favorable claims 1 through 9. Seconded by the Honorable Antonio Lewis. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. One moment. The vote is open. The vote is closed. 6 yeas, 0 nays. The favorable claims have been approved.
I will make a motion to adverse the unfavorable claims, items 10 through 25, seconded by the Honorable Vice Chair Dustin Hillis. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 6 yeas, 0 nays. The unfavorable claims have been adversed. This takes us to our regular agenda, Section H, ordinance for second reading, item number 124-01312, an ordinance by Public Safety and Legal Administration Committee amending the 2024 Intergovernmental Grant Fund budget, Department of Police, by adding to anticipations and appropriations in the amount of $744,802.20 for the 2021 Sexual Assault Kit Initiative Grant from the Office of Justice Programs and for other purposes.
I will move approval. Seconded by the Honorable Vice Chair Dustin Hillis. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 6 yeas, 0 nays. This item is favorable. This takes us to item number 2, 24-01343. An ordinance by Councilmember Alex Juan to amend Chapter 10, alcoholic beverages of the City of Atlanta Code of Ordinances and for other purposes. Madam Chair, the sponsor requested that this item be held.
Motion to hold by the Honorable Matt Westmoreland, seconded by the Honorable Vice Chair Dustin Hillis. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 6 yeas, 0 nays. This item is held in committee. This takes us to Section I, resolutions, item number 324R3707, a resolution by Councilmember Amir Faroqi authorizing the City of Atlanta to donate total amount not to exceed $2,250,000.00 to the Atlanta Police Foundation pursuant to Section 6-306 of the City of Atlanta's Charter to support the Community Safety Housing Program, authorizing the mayor as designee to enter into any necessary agreements to effectuate the donation and to authorize Chief Financial Officer or his designee to make all payments from the accounts listed herein and for other purposes.
Move approval.
Second.
Seconded by the Honorable Amir Faroqi. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 6 yeas, 0 nays. This item is favorable. Madam Chair, there is no objection from the committee. Can we take items number 4 through 6 together as a block?
Thank you, Mr. Johnson.
Item number 424R3746, a resolution by Public Safety and Legal Administration Committee authorizing the settlement of all claims against the City of Atlanta in the case of Megan Thomas and Megan Thomas on behalf of Megan Thomas minor child versus City of Atlanta and Officer R. Yarborough in his official capacity as an officer and unofficial capacity, civil action file number listed herein, pending in the Superior Court of Fulton County in the amount of $3,750.00. Authorizing the settlement amount to be charged to and paid from accounts listed herein and for other purposes. Item number 524R3747, a resolution by Public Safety and Legal Administration Committee authorizing the settlement of all claims against defendant City of Atlanta in the case of State Farm Mutual Automobile Insurance Company as Sabroki of Eugene Raphael Hudson versus City of Atlanta, civil action file number listed herein, pending in the State Court of Fulton County, Georgia, in the amount of $28,693.81. Authorizing the settlement amount to be charged to and paid from accounts listed herein. Authorizing the Chief Financial Officer to distribute the settlement amount and for other purposes. Item number 624R3748, a resolution by Public Safety and Legal Administration Committee authorizing the settlement of all claims against the defendants in the case of Tania Pilgrim and Messiah Young versus City of Atlanta, Georgia, civil action file number listed herein, pending in the United States District Court for the Northern District of Georgia in the amount of $2,000,000, authorizing the settlement amount to be charged to and paid from the accounts listed herein and for other purposes.
Move approval. Oh, Speaker, the Honorable Dustin Hillis.
Given this is a $2 million settlement, and I don't think we've been contacted or by the Department of Law to discuss this, to my knowledge. or
I think
recollection.
we are prepared to go into executive
haven't.
session on Monday. Are we prepared to go on?
And then if that's the case, I don't think it should.
Madam
the motion
Amber.
should be for approval. I think it should be a no recommendation.
Let's
on
move
the-
forward with, I agree, let's
on
move
the,
forward with no
condition we
recommend.
have an executive session, so I'll make.
Make that motion.
Thank you.
Madam Attorney?
Good afternoon, Amber A. Robinson, City of Atlanta Department of Law. To the chair's desire to go into an executive session on Monday, and in accordance with Councilmember Hillis's statement, I believe the appropriate motion would be to approve items 4 and 5, whilst moving forward with no recommendation on item 6.
Yes, I will first make a motion to approve items 4 and 5, so we can handle that first.
Moved by the Honorable Dustin Hillis, seconded by the Honorable Mary Norwood. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 6 yeas, 0 nays. This item is favorable. These items are favorable, excuse me.
For item number 6, which has already been read in, I'll make a motion to move forward with no recommendation on the condition that an executive session be had at Monday's council meeting.
Seconded by the Honorable Matt Westmoreland. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 6 yeas, 0 nays. This item is forwarded with no recommendation on condition. Madam Chair, we have one item coming off held. Item number
The
16.
Honorable Dustin Hillis.
Apologize. I would make a request that Chief Sherabaum and possibly other leadership from APD be present at the executive session.
Thank you. We would like for our chief and other interested parties to please be present for the executive session on this coming Monday. Mr. David Johnson, please continue.
We have one item coming off held, item number 16 on page 10. 24C5082, a communication from Mayor Andre Dickens appointing Ms. Patrice Perkins Hooker to serve as City of Atlanta for the City Attorney, for the City of Atlanta.
Thank you. Ms. Hooker, please come forward. Thank you. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon again, council members and committee chair. My name is Patrice Perkins Hooker. I'm an attorney who's been practicing law in the area for 40 years. I have had the opportunity to have a distinguished career in private practice and as general counsel for the Atlanta Beltline, as well as for Fulton County, where I served as the county attorney until I quote unquote retired in January of 2021. And I have worked in various areas which have helped me be able to step into this seat and manage people. I've managed 5 law firms in the city of Atlanta over the course of my career. And I think the mayor wanted someone who could step in and manage for prior city attorney Hickson, and it's been an honor to have been considered for the opportunity.
Move approval. Seconded by the Honorable Mary Norwood. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 6 yeas, 0 nays. The item is favorable.
Thank you
very much.
Thank you.
Chairman, I do have my deputy in charge of litigation with me in case any of you all have a couple of questions with regard to any items that we could talk to you one-on-one afterwards.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We have our last item. That's it for before.
Madam Chair, that concludes our agenda for this afternoon.
Thank you. We have a special guest in the audience, Ms. Diamond Bradley. We've been honored. I'm joined by the Honorable Michael Julian Bond. Thank you. Ms. Diamond Bradley, will you please come up? Ms. Bradley was honored today by her peers in the city of Atlanta. Tell us a little bit about yourself. We are so very proud of you, Ms. Bradley.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilwoman Boone. My name is Diamond Bradley. I have been living in Atlanta for about 15 years. I'm an entrepreneur. I started my business in college. It's called The Primary Movement. It's a creative agency that builds sustainable careers and community for creatives in Atlanta since 2018. So it was an honor to be given a proclamation today in honor of the Primary Movement, but also for my work in civic engagement and voter empowerment. And I've been a leader, a student in the city of Atlanta, being involved with some of the council members in different programming. So it's great to see some familiar faces. And thank you so much for this honor. I'm extremely grateful.
Congratulations, and you will be leaving for New York to get a master's degree. What school?
From New York University. I'll be getting my master's in event management.
Okay, congratulations. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you.